test to see if your mission on earth is finished. If you're alive, it isn't. Actually, Richard Block said that. If you're alive, it isn't. We all have a mission, we all have an assignment. There's some unique ones. We all have a unique one, but we all have one. A mission that for 2,500 years people have been searching for. This power that is in with each and every one of us, this connection with the divine. And Jean Houston says that now, more than ever, you know, than the time of Jesus, the time of Buddha, there are more people searching for this assignment, this soul connection. There's that right now in this earth, there's this huge yearning and this longing for this connection right here. And I got to thinking, what is that connection? You know, we've all kind of felt it once in a while. I was talking to Rob a little bit about what that feels like today, and I got to kind of thinking about, for me, you know, what is that? And it's the breath. You know what? Just kind of go with me on this. That's what it is. It's the connection of rest inside of you. After your world is kind of shaken up with all of the monkeys that Judy was talking about, it's the, okay, now I can breathe a little bit. That's what this connection, this deeper connection is in us. We've searched so long because we've had a void, right? A hole in us. We think that we have had that. The truth is that we're divine beings. There's no hole there. We're perfect. We're whole and we're so complete. It just feels that way because we've lost that connection. It feels like a part of us is missing. I got to thinking, you know, I remember when I was a young mother laying in bed at night and my teenage girls were out, right? And I felt like a piece of me was missing until they got back into their beds. I could hear the door shut. And then it's like, you know what I mean? You finally can just rest. And there's that breath. You know too, Carol, don't you? You know, it's like, okay, that's what we're missing. See, that's what we're missing. And when we finally kind of connect and we finally complete ourselves, we can take a breath and say, thank you, God. That's who we are. We're whole then. We're whole. And we don't have to go through life with this emptiness, with this hole in us. And see, the truth is that this whole journey is a search for that. You know, why can't we just get it? Why can't we just be born? We are born that way, and we get it when we're born, but we lose it. And we're trying to search for it. We're trying to search. And that's the hero's journey that the Wizard of Oz, all of the great myths of all time, that's what Jean Houston talks about. That when Houston Smith, when he, you know, studied, or Joseph Campbell, not Houston Smith, Joseph Campbell studied this. He studied the hero's journey, and it was about all of these collection of stories, and they all had the same journey, right? I mean, a different journey, but they had the same ideas that ran through them. You know, they had the same ideas. And that's what we're on now. We're on the journey without distance. We're on a journey to our own heart, to open up our heart to this connection that we've yearned for our whole life. And that connection is the connection of love. That's what it is. It's the connection of opening and connecting with each other in love. It's so good to see you guys here. I'm going to miss you. It's a journey to our own heart, a journey to harmony with ourselves, or just a journey that you can go, okay, I've got the harmony. I feel complete now. I feel complete now, and it's all in the breath. It's Dorothy's journey of there's no place like home. It's always inside of us. It's always, but we have to go out there to search for it. We have to go out there and find it, you know. And then when we do, when during this search, like Judy said, these monkeys, these relationships, usually it's in the form of relationships, it's financial, it's health issues, whatever it is, come to us so that we can find that piece of us. We don't just find it until we usually go through something incredibly hard, and then we find the courage to get through it. And then we learn our magnificence and our power. We realize that it was always there. It was always with us. And we find that we can do things that we never thought were possible, ever. And I love that you said that, because if we think back in our life, every one of us, we can say, how did we get through that? How did we get through this? You know, I can say that practically every year of my life. Man, I got through this, you know. And it takes courage, and you have to pat yourself on the back. See, I don't know if you saw the guy on, Oprah had on Soul Series, a guy called Panache Desai. I don't know if you've seen him, but I love his whole work is on spirit. What he says is that we think that we're broken. We think we're broken, and we're not. We're not broken at all. You know, that we are so divine and so perfect that if we even knew it, it would be incredible. He says that we have a soul signature. I like that word. I want to use that for a minute. A soul signature. Every one of us has a unique soul signature. And it's a resonant field. It's a field that is separate, but yet it's the same. It's the same, but we have our unique one. Does that make sense? And that we vibrate at this high, incredible level. But we've moved away from it. We've moved away from our soul signature. So I got to thinking about what is that, you know, that like? That's like the breath I was talking about. When you finally find your soul signature, you can go, oh, there it is, there it is. So today you got this paper. You don't have to take it out now, but I want you to take this home. Take it home, your little paper, whatever you got. Write your soul signature, you know, because, you know, this is who you are. I wrote Glenda K. Olson. I wrote my name as a maiden name because that's who I was when I was born. That's my soul signature, and that's who I am now. Go through some quiet time, write who you are, and know your power. Know that you are Holly freaking Harris, okay? You know that. That's who you are. Each of you. You are incredible. Laura Lopez. You know, or that's not your probably maiden name, but that's who you are, each one of you. That's the power you have in you, and we forgot. That's your soul signature. You know, so write it, take it, feel it. You know, and when you're feeling filled with fear, because that's what it is, it's fear that we all feel at times in our life, look at that signature and say, that's my soul signature. You know, I got life. I was given precious human birth, and I'm uniquely Robert Fields. Robert, what are you talking about? So we moved away from this resonant field, and when we do that, see, we create the monkeys, and the monkeys are just darker energies, right? It's all one. We've said that before. We're all one. We are all one. You know, and all of these energies and everything, and it's the Glinda, the good witch, and the monkeys, all of them are really one energy. It just has different vibrations. So we have the wonderful Glinda that guides you and that loves you through it, you know, like she did Dorothy. And then we have the monkeys and the witch. You know, we have all of those things in our life. And our goal then is to step through it and to face it head on, to face it, to have the courage to face whatever is going on in your life, to see it and to meet it and to transform it into the love that you really are. So the hero's journey, and today we're going to talk about this at 1 o'clock. We're going to go through the steps, but I want to mention them because it goes up to 12 steps, but they're all included in these 5, and it starts with just an innocence. It's an innocence where things are easy and comfortable. There's no big struggles, right? Think about the time in your life when, you know, my life's pretty good. I don't have a struggle right now. You know, I don't have any relationship problems. Money's okay. You know, there are health issues. So I'm doing good, you know. Well, watch out. Watch out, because what happens on the hero's journey is you get the call. You get the call to adventure. You know, Dorothy's just sitting around there, and all of a sudden she gets this call, you know, this yearning. Sometimes it can take the form of just this deep yearning that, you know, something's not right in my life. I'm just not happy anymore. You got the call. You guys got the call to go to Costa Rica. You know, I remember sitting on my house. I had a great house. I had a great husband. I had a great family, and my life was just perfect. But I remember I've told this a million times, but I went to a bunco party and had some wine, and I was having a good time. And I came back home, and I was just sitting on my lawn like midnight, looking around, and you know, I'm really pretty blessed, but I'm not happy. There's something. I'm missing something. I got the call that I needed to do something different. Okay, we have a choice, take the call or not. I didn't take the call. And guess what? I got booted right out of that situation. The call came anyway. So you can refuse the call and your life still goes on and it's a little bit tougher, or you take the call, and even if you take the call, it's a tough journey. And then you go into the next stage after the call. But see, what the call does is it urges you to grow to become a whole different person. You transform and you become courageous, and you start to learn who you are. It's this unknown growth that you have in you. And then you go through the initiation. Oh wow, the initiation. How many of you have been through an initiation? And you don't even have to raise your hands, because I know every one of you have been through the initiation. That's the transforming, that's the fire. That's when you're confronted with the death of the ego, or the death of yourself, or the death of somebody you love. You know, honestly, that's part of initiation. You are in the fire, and it hurts, and you don't think you'll ever get through it. You know, I've had a lot of those in my life, and I didn't ever think I would get through it. I didn't have the courage to move forward with the life that I needed to have. Even part of the initiation was a depression, right? It's a quiet depression where you want to just put the covers over your head and not even go on with life. I was there for a while. That's the fire that he's talking about. So it takes on a whole bunch of different forms. And then along the way, along this hero's journey, you find allies, right? You find the people that help you. So think of the times in your life, that are so filled with struggle and so filled with pain that people just appear. One of my struggles, Judy came through one of these before I even really knew her, was during a crisis time in my life. And she became one of my struggles. And one of the people that I would think wasn't what? Did I say something funny? But anyway, okay, I don't know what I said, but anyway, I don't want to lose my thought here, but one of the people I thought wasn't an ally turned out to be the greatest ally ever. And I'm thinking, wow, my life transformed because of this person, because it takes on all different forms, and then we find out the wisdom that we really have. Okay, and then there's the breakthrough. There's the breakthrough when you finally, you get it and you break through and you go, God, I'm transformed. I have this new ability, this new strength. I can look back, I'm more courageous than I ever thought. My life has changed. Every one of us, in one way or another, has done this. The last one is a celebration, right? Your journey ends and the hero returns home. These are, of all of the fairy tales, everything that we've been through. They come home, and they come home different. Right? They come home and they're the master of two worlds. The master of the world of the divine. I shouldn't say the divine because the divine's here, and the outside world. They know two worlds. See? Our approach is our challenge, up to the darker energies. That's what this whole idea is about. This whole thing about monkeys is that it's about the challenges in our life and the journey that we take. And what do we do with those challenges? What do we do with the challenges? Do we embrace them? Sometimes we do. Do we hide from them? Yeah, I've done that before too. I don't want to face them. I don't want to face them at all. And the truth is that we have to. Because in every crisis you have, there's a bottom, and in that bottom there is something for us to gain. Something for us to take with us back into the real world. Something incredible to learn. Something unknown. And even if it's just an emotion. The other day I had my daughter asked me if I would talk to her friend whose father is dying and has the same process that Fred had. And so the mother is going through a lot of things, so she said, would you meet her and talk with her? So I sat down and we talked and went through all of the whole process of Fred's transplant and all of this. It was brought up all of this sad feelings, and I talked to her. And I left and went back, and she felt better, and I felt worse. and I sat in my room, and I started to go through my journal of that time period, because I thought, okay, I've got to kind of speak or practice what I preach here, right? So I thought, I'm going to face this feeling. I'm feeling really sad right now. And I went through the journal, and I kind of felt, this little sadness around, why did it have to be this way, when it was just a sad time. And so I cried and I kind of released it. And then I remembered what Mark Nepo said. And I want you to remember this too when you feel times of sadness, because it really worked for me. He said that sit and breathe and let the things that are not sad teach you. Not sad, teach you. So I just sat in the quiet in my room and I looked out this incredible backyard. I have a really pretty backyard, and I let the birds teach me, right? And I let the wind was blowing, and I let that teach me, and the rain, and I let it inform me. And I made my sadness a big canvas, right? And he says that too. I love what he says because I love the metaphor. He said that your sadness is a paint, and you have to find the canvas for it. So when you're really sad, you just create a bigger container for it. You still feel the sadness, but then you realize all the things around you are there for you, We have to make life our practice, right? Their practice isn't just meditation and then going out and facing the world. It's not just being here Sunday morning, feeling good for a few minutes and then walking out and, kicking the dog. It's about making life your practice, knowing that your humanity is your doorway to the divine, and to realize that life is happening for us, not to us. It's happening for us. So it's leading us to find our soul signature again. That's what life is doing for us. Marianne Williamson said that we're afraid of our greatness. Remember that quote she's quoted as saying, well, I got to thinking, why are we afraid? And I was thinking, what if a genie, came down or said to you, that you have all the power in the world and you are responsible for creating this perfect life, this perfect life, and in turn, the whole world would be perfect. Would you take that challenge? And I think that most of us would be afraid. I think most of us would be afraid to really take that challenge because we would be afraid that we would fail. We would be afraid that we couldn't be perfect enough. But we are perfect. And that's the prayer, and that's what I'm called. The call is here, is to know that we are perfect and incredible human beings, incredible divine beings, that we're already divine, that our challenge is to say yes, yes, yes to the call of this hero's journey, to take it and to face any fear that comes up and to find our soul signature so that we can celebrate our lives. Thank you.